going on, guys? I made a few other AEW rant videos on this channel. You can go check them out. They've been doing really well in, getting eyes on them. And, there's still a lot I need to cover about AEW, since a lot of you have, messaged me saying you don't completely understand my point of view here. So, I waited a couple weeks to see if AEW got any better to make another one of these videos. And, I promised myself if it were to get better, I would tell you guys. See, I'm not just complaining to be a complainer. When something's good, I'm going to tell you it's genuinely good. Now, I got to say, I'm impressed. I have been impressed in recent memory with AEW now. Since my last rant video, I've seen some changes that are implemented in their TV programming. That is something I like, something I'm interested in, something that I can look forward to on a Wednesday night. One thing that I'm really, really happy about, and something they're really, really doing, is they are bringing in these old Hall of Famers, these old wrestling Hall of Famers, and they're doing what they should have done from all along. See, Chris Jericho should have never been AEW World Heavyweight Champion. He should have just been a manager for a guy like Sammy Guevara or Jake Hager or some other young talent. Jericho was a joke as a champion. I'm sorry. He can still cut a good promo, but that match against Jon Moxley sucked. I don't know what JD from NY is smoking over there, but Jericho versus Moxley was fucking horrendous, and it wasn't Moxley's fault. It was Jericho. It genuinely looked like a 20-year-old going up against a fucking 80-year-old in that match. And I know I think Moxley's in his 30s, Jericho's in his 50s, but man, you could really see in Jericho in that match at Revolution when he had with Moxley that age is catching up to him rather quickly. He can't move. His movements in the ring weren't swift, wasn't clean like it used to be. Jericho with that Judas Effect elbow, oh my fucking god, horrendous. The Judas Effect elbow needs to be gone. The Judas Effect elbow is one of the lousiest fucking elbows I think I've ever seen in my life. And he keeps fucking doing it. Yet this guy calls himself the best in the world, and yet he does Judas Effect elbow. He literally, all the Judas Effect elbow is turning your back to your opponent and then running into your elbow. Hey, that's your finisher? I don't get it. I don't get it. But yet, other than that, the match was decent. I think Moxley should have won, and thank God he did. So that was a good choice for AEW to get the strap off Jericho. Look, I'm a big fan of Jericho. I'm a big fan of how he used to be a wrestler, and now he's just an old guy who can't really move. But he still knows how to cut a goddamn good promo. I'll give him that. But in 2020, Jericho just doesn't do it for me when he's in the ring. Just doesn't do it. Jericho the best thing about Jericho isn't really his wrestling ability. It's his ability to sell a match when he has a microphone in his hand. When Jericho has a microphone in his hand, he can make almost any match look like a fucking main event match that he's in. Because of the way he talks, the way he presents himself, the way he cuts promos, he really knows how to sell a match by just speaking. And that's something I'll always respect Jericho for, but again, I'm not trying to dig on him, but it's 2020. When I see him in the ring, all I can do is cringe. All I can do is cringe. I mean, literally. I get it. His moveset's limited now that he's above the age of 50, but I think as soon as your moveset's limited by age, you should be getting out of the business. Because I don't want to see a Jericho that's washed up, broken down. This makes me sad. It makes me realize how old I am, because I still remember when Jericho was feuding with Shawn. I was a kid. But man, I'll never forget when Jericho smashed Shawn Michaels' head through the Jerichon. Oh, great shit, Jericho. Great shit, but watching you wrestle now is just not it's not doing it for me, Jack. It's not doing it for me. I think Revolution was one of the best pay-per-views I've watched in the last 15 years. I'm not gonna lie. I think AEW Revolution was the best pay-per-view, wrestling pay-per-view show in at least 20 years. I gotta give it that. I think what they did at Revolution was better than the last 3 WrestleManias combined. I think what they did at Revolution was just beautiful. It really was. They booked three match heavily. There was only three matches on the card I was really interested in: MJF versus Cody, Jericho versus Moxley, and what was the other one I was interested in? Oh, Orange Cassidy versus Pac. Now I gotta get this out of the way. Revolution. Now I'm gonna say this one more time before I move on. Revolution was a goddamn great show. Great show. I gotta give it to him. Great show. I'm telling you, it was better than the last three Manias combined. Revolution was a smash hit, in my opinion. But the AEW after Revolution wasn't so much a grand slam. It was more of a lazy kind of aftermath show. One thing I do not fucking like is the Lucha Bros and Pac joining together and making a new faction. I don't get it. I don't get this company's obsession with making a new stable every week. I mean, we have the Dark Order, we have the Inner Circle, we have the new Pac group, we have the Nightmare Collective, if there's even still a thing. I haven't seen them in a few weeks, but there's so many of these goddamn stables that it's just overload. They need to disband the Inner Circle or disband one of their other groups. They really need to slim down these stables. They really got to. They are embarrassing themselves and they don't even realize it. When you constantly make stables and you constantly have a new stable rolling in every fucking week, it seems like, pretty soon all those singles wrestlers that you have aren't going to be singles wrestlers anymore. They're going to be looked at as tag team. When I see Sammy Guevara in a one-on-one match, I think to myself, goddamn, Sammy Guevara is a fucking legend. But when I see him in a tag team match with fucking Jericho, I feel bad for the kid. Because Sammy Guevara isn't a tag team wrestler. Sammy Guevara is a singles wrestler, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Right? Sammy Guevara is one of the best young athletes I think I've seen since AJ Styles, probably. When AJ Styles was like in TNA back in 2000, Sammy Guevara reminds me of a younger AJ Styles. He really does. Not the way he looks, just the way his wrestling style is. He reminds me of a younger AJ Styles. I've seen all of Sammy Guevara's matches in AEW, and I've yet to see one botch. Maybe one or two botches that aren't really noticeable. But, you know, the guy's near perfect. And I know he's like 24 years old. That's a dime in a dozen right there. And honestly, if AEW doesn't start picking up this boat with Sammy Guevara and giving them wins and start building them up, pretty soon he's going to be just a glorified jobber. You know what I mean? They got to give him a win. I think he's only got one win since AEW started, and that's criminal to me. That's criminal. It's criminal to me because I haven't seen an athlete like Sammy Guevara in a while, and I guarantee guys like Cody, guys like Tony Khan haven't seen an athlete like Sammy Guevara either in a long time. So I'm kind of concerned with Sammy Guevara's character as of right now, because all I see is him getting fed to these other guys like Moxley or Darby Allin. It shouldn't be like that. If anything, Moxley and Darby Allin should be getting fed to Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara, you know, his acting, his facial expressions could use a little work. But, you know, just the shit he does in that ring looks so goddamn picture perfect that, you know, the stupid facials he makes are justified and all that other crap. So all is good with me and Sammy. Another thing I just gotta get back into this. Pac and Lucha Bros makes no fucking sense. Honestly, I think Lucha Bros should be fired from AEW. I don't get it. I think they are dead already. They're dead in the water already. The American audience really does not understand what AEW is trying to accomplish with Lucha Bros. First of all, Lucha Bros were dead from the very start. They should have never been booked to be a fucking heel. Those guys suck as heels. I don't give a fuck what any of you clowns say in my comment section. The Lucha Bros are fucking clowns as heels. They should be face. And it should be a face versus face with them and the Young Bucks, and I guarantee it'll be better than the heel versus fucking faces. Face, turn Lucha Bros face, get them out of the Pac. Pac can stay. Pac is just going stale as a heel too. Not gonna lie. Pac as a heel for me, see. Here's the thing with Pac. He left WWE, but he refuses to leave his character with WWE. He hasn't changed. King Neville is literally Pac. There's no differences between the two. The Bastard Pac and King Neville are, whatever. But he needs to turn face, I believe. I don't know, but there's just something is not clicking with Pac and the Lucha Bros. Something is not clicking, and I'm thinking it's the heel heat is not working really much. Pac, I don't know how anyone could hate Pac. I really don't know how anyone could boo Pac. He is a smaller guy that's fit as all hell and that does high-flying moves. I don't understand how that's a heel. You know what I mean? I think a smaller guy like Darby, if you're Darby Allin size, you have no business being a heel. You know what I mean? If you're the size of Neville, you have no business being a heel. That's just my thing. A heel should be a guy that looks intimidating, that wrestles like he's ready to kill somebody. And when I see Neville or Bastard Pac wrestle, he's just a high-flying face when I see him in the ring. But when he has a mic in his hand, he's cutting a heel promo. You know what I mean? And the same thing with Lucha Bros. When I see Lucha Bros in the ring and they're doing all that crazy fucking shit, how can you not cheer them? I mean, Jesus Christ, it's really not that hard. It's like turning the Young Bucks heel. Do you think that would work? Heel Young Bucks is probably the stupidest motherfucking thing I've ever heard of. I don't know how you can be guys like Lucha Bros doing all these flips and fucking shit, dropping people on their goddamn heads, and doing awesome moves every fucking 2 moves in a wrestling match, and you think you're gonna get booed? I'm sorry, but when I see a 450 fucking backward shooting star press, I'm not gonna boo the guy because he's a heel. I'm gonna cheer the fucking guy because it's amazing. What he just did was amazing. You know what I mean? You gotta think a little more. You know what I mean? Whoever is booking this shit needs to wake up and smell the roses. Nyla Rose is women's champion. Honestly, I think Nyla Rose should be out of a job here shortly. I think Nyla Rose should be back to the indie circuit. I think Nyla Rose should not be champion for any company because, quite frankly, she sucks. She's garbage, and she sucks again. And she's a man. Oh, did I forget that part? Yeah, Nyla Rose is actually a guy, but is women's champion. So right there and then, okay. I think my title's justified. Jake the Snake Roberts. Let's get into this fucking shit. Jake the Snake Roberts. I really haven't been keeping up with Jake the Snake Roberts for a few years. The last time I seen Jake the Snake Roberts, he was on a documentary of how he got clean with DDP. What an amazing story. I encourage any of you who really don't know who Jake is or who aren't familiar with Jake's demons in the past to go look up a documentary him and Diamond Dallas Page did. Diamond Dallas Page and his DDP yoga is life-saving. And I think after you hear Jake the Snake's story of how DDP and DDP yoga saved him from alcoholism and just drugs in general and just his life in general, is a very sweet, humbling story. And I think anyone that wants a backstory in Jake the Snake should watch that. But holy fucking shit. Jake the Snake, I haven't seen Jake the Snake in a ring since 2014 when he did his little shtick with the Shield. One of those like the retro Raws they do, old school Raw. Back in 2014, the Shield was still together. I think Dean Ambrose was United States champion at the time. Jake the Snake came down and scared Ambrose, who is now Jon Moxley of the Snake. Back in 2014. That's the last time I saw him in a wrestling ring. But when he came out and he confronted Cody on this past AEW. I gotta give it to Jake for a guy that hasn't been in a wrestling ring in 5 years, 6 years. The guy hasn't missed one step. I know he can't wrestle anymore, but just him picking up a microphone on live television for the first time in 6 months or 6 years, and for him to be able to cut the level of promo he cut against Cody, just shows you what a legend Jake Roberts is. The promo that Jake the Snake Roberts cut last night was probably the best wrestling promo I've ever heard in my life. Not gonna lie. And that just goes to show you how great Jake is. He hasn't done anything in wrestling for 6 long years. And the first night he shows up on AEW, he cuts a better promo than Cody Rhodes does, or Jericho does. This Jake the Snake Roberts, although he doesn't sound good, although it sounds like he's about ready to have a heart attack and fall over, just the words he put in there, just the mind games he does. He got in the ring, he was sniffing the ropes, he was sniffing the turnbuckle to get a scent, and then he goes on to cut a promo about snakes, and now he's gonna take Cody's slice of the pie. And I mean, I can't do his promo justice by this live stream, so I suggest any of you who are doubting when I say, go on YouTube, look up Jake the Snake Roberts AEW promo, and you watch that son of a bitch, because I guarantee you will all think the same thing. Wow, that's the best wrestling promo I think I've heard in wrestling history, honestly. The promo Jake the Snake Roberts cut last night, it was 6 minutes long, and it was better than any promo Chris Jericho cut since AEW started. I can give you that much. I can assure you that much. The 6-minute promo, the first promo in 6 years Jake the Snake Roberts cuts, was 6 minutes long, and was better than every single promo Jericho ever cut in AEW television. Jake the Snake Roberts, if you keep swinging for the fences like you did last night or at Wednesday night, you are going to be in my top 10 promo cutters list within the week. Not going to lie. I can't say it enough. The promo Jake the Snake Roberts cut last night on AEW Dynamite last night. What am I thinking of? Wednesday night was genuinely the best promo I think I've ever heard in my lifetime. And I'm 19 years old, for all of you know, so I've been watching wrestling probably since I was 2. So 18 years. So, probably the best promo I ever listened to, ever. And even though his voice is all raspy and all that crap, the character that he's trying to portray, the voice goes along right with it. You know what I mean? So it's like a perfect combination of this brilliance when it comes on the mic and the proper voice. You know what I mean? You can't make Orange Cassidy a heel because he sounds like a fucking kid. You know what I mean? Some of these guys on the roster sound like fucking little dog toys. They're all squeaky voice, high-pitched voices. Jake the Snake is completely the opposite. You see, Dark Order should be disbanded after Jake the Snake's promo. And if it turns out Jake the Snake is going to align himself with the Dark Order, I'm just going to turn it off and never watch wrestling again, because that would be the stupidest decision they'll ever make. So Jake the Snake Roberts comes up to Cody, says, I have a client, and when my client faces you, I'm going to be in the outside of the ring. So there's automatically 2 names that come to mind who I know are with AEW who haven't made their debuts yet, and that is NJPW's Lance Archer and former WWE superstar Luke Harper, Brody Lee. Preferably, out of the 2, who I'd like to see with Jake the Snake Roberts would probably be Brody Lee, Luke Harper. I think Luke Harper, he's like 40. Luke Harper's 40, but he can, just Luke Harper's wrestling style alone, he can easily make another 20 years in the business the way Luke Harper wrestles. He doesn't take that much high risk. He's more of a ground and pound kind of wrestling, and if you wrestle that kind of style, you're going to be saving yourself years of your career by this not doing what, the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros do, doing 450 corkscrew splashes every fucking all night long. Every night, all night long. Of course, you're going to knock 20 years off your career there, but Luke Harper, he looks great in the ring, from what I could tell when he was wrestling at the last few matches at WWE. He looks great, he looks clean, he looks swift, and I think he looks ready to go. And I think if AEW were to align him with Jake the Snake Roberts, and Jake the Snake Roberts were Luke Harper's mic piece, I think they could do wonders for themselves. I think they can make money. I think they could put asses in seats, and I think AEW could book this potentially to be one of the best angles in wrestling history, honestly. Especially with the level of promo Jake cut last night. If they have a golden ticket to do something special right there, and if they don't grab that golden ticket and run for the fences with it, then they shouldn't be on TV. But yeah, AEW Revolution was a smash hit, was a success, one of the best pay-per-views I watched ever, probably. AEW Revolution was better than the last 3 Manias combined, as I said before. AEW Revolution was a smashing hit. A success. Now, I gotta get into the disappointing part. MJF. You nearly ruined his career. I really don't understand what the fuck AEW was thinking. First of all, they didn't even book MJF on last Dynamite. MJF wasn't even on the show. I don't understand why the fuck MJF wasn't on Dynamite, like literally 3 days after he beat Cody Rhodes. You'd think MJF would be out there bragging, right? I mean, it fits his character, right? Now, we won't even book him. We won't even book him. Are you fucking stupid? Like, seriously. What in the blue fuck is wrong with you guys? MJF and Cody had one hell of a match at Revolution. And if you really want to get MJF over as a heel, you'd think you'd have him come out the very following Dynamite after he beat Cody just to rub it in his face. And you don't even book him at all. This is some next level fucking dumbass booking right there. I don't fucking stand what the fuck AEW was thinking. This was probably one of the stupidest decisions they made since they started. Just not even booking MJF on your show is reason enough not for me to watch it. MJF is the guy that I give a lot of credit to of why I watch AEW. MJF is probably the only reason why I watch AEW. MJF is so goddamn unbelievably goddamn talented that I just want to watch him all day long. I just want to watch him act like a fucking heel all day long because he's so goddamn good at it. And what does AEW do after the biggest match of fucking MJF's career with Cody at Revolution? They don't book him at all. What the fuck were you guys thinking? And they didn't even make it. MJF wasn't even mentioned last night on Dynamite, besides when Cody was out there talking about how MJF cheated to win. That's the only time MJF was even mentioned. Did you fire him? Because I don't know, if I was the owner of AEW and everybody was telling me how great MJF was, I don't know, but I would do my goddamn best to book him every single fucking week. Like, seriously, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. How in the blue fuck do you not book MJF after he beat Cody Rhodes? I'm baffled right now. That spot right there after MJF beat fucking one Dynamite removed. The first Dynamite after MJF beat Revolution was the night MJF could have got nuclear heat by going out there and acting like he didn't cheat. Just a storyline idea. But the amount of heat he could have garnered from just doing that alone, the Dynamite after Revolution could have been great. But what do? Again, they don't book them. They don't. I like literally. I'm gonna repeat myself till I get a genuine answer. I want a genuine answer of whose idea it was to. You know what? Why don't we just not book MJF tonight, and we'll just let everyone else that isn't quite as over as MJF just go out there and wrestle. I'm sorry about you guys, but if Big Swole is getting booked before MJF, there's a fucking issue. You're spitting in my face. You're spitting in my face, and I don't like it. I don't know how you can book Dustin Rhodes in a match before you book fucking MJF to be on the show at all, but somehow they did. Seriously, what the fuck? You have a smash fucking hit with Revolution, and the very, very next Wednesday night on Dynamite, you don't even book the best heel in your business. That was some next level bullshit. That was some next level dumb ass booking. That was so beyond WWE's stupid ass booking that it's just well beyond me. That right there, that one decision, not even to book MJF, to not even have MJF on Dynamite this week, was the worst creative decision in wrestling in the past 2 years. Genuinely the past 2 years. I don't give a fuck. Goldberg beat The Fiend, whoop-de-fucking-do. But MJF, the best fucking heel AEW got, not even being booked on a Dynamite, is the worst wrestling decision I've probably seen in the last 2 years. That was so fucking stupid. So fucking irresponsibly stupid of those motherfucking clowns over at AEW that they literally just wasted all of our times. Because you want to know what happens now? One night. All it takes is 1 week that your top heel isn't booked at all. We don't see him once on a show. All it takes is 1 week until these fans forget. I guarantee the next time we see fucking MJF come out on AEW Dynamite, he will not get a better response than that he would have this past Dynamite, that he wasn't booked. I guarantee. If MJF was booked on this past Dynamite, the reaction he would have got there would have been 10 times better than the reaction he's going to get the next time he shows up. Because it was the Dynamite after one of the best fucking matches MJF ever had in his career. One of the best heel versus face matches I think I've seen in a long goddamn time. And you don't even book MJF. Literally, this is actually giving me a migraine. It's so fucking stupid. I'm not trying to sound like I'm sucking MJF's dick, but god damn it, I want to, because he is so goddamn good at what he does, and he deserves every little bit of TV time he can get. And now he's not even getting booked? You're doing nothing but spitting on MJF's face. You're doing nothing but spitting on Wardlow's face. You're doing nothing but spitting on every single AEW fan's face. AEW, listen up. We don't give a fuck about Cody Rhodes. We don't give a fuck about Jericho. We don't give a fuck about the entire fucking roster. We want MJF. You have Kenny Omega on your roster, okay? The so-called the best wrestler on the planet. Yet every single fucking night, we hear more about MJF than we do about Kenny Omega. You want to know why? Because Kenny Omega doesn't know how to wrestle. He doesn't know how to tell stories in the ring. He doesn't know how to be a heel. He doesn't know how to be a face. He doesn't know how to do anything but his regular flips and shit. Alright? And you can call him the best bout machine all you want, but let's go on just statistics here. All the MJF matches, all the MJF segments have better reviews than they do Kenny Omega segments. You want to know why? Because MJF is just a better fucking performer than fucking Kenny Omega. And when I say he's a better performer, it doesn't mean the style of wrestling he is, just the way he cuts promos, just the way he presents himself on television, just the way his facial expressions work. Just everything about MJF is a fucking golden nugget compared to fucking Kenny Omega. If you were to give me Kenny Omega, the choice to meet Kenny Omega and MJF, I would choose MJF 10 times over before I ever meet Kenny Omega. MJF, and I'm pretty sure anyone with a fucking brain in between their ears would fucking agree with me, MJF is the most popular AEW superstar on the roster right now. MJF has surpassed Cody Rhodes, has surpassed the Young Bucks, has surpassed Kenny Omega, has surpassed everybody, and he's a heel. MJF is the best. And there's no debating it. He's just the fucking best. And when you don't book him, there is something severely wrong with your thought process, with your comprehension towards what you're watching. I don't know whose idea it was to have MJF sit out this past Dynamite, but you, sir, need to be fired, removed from the staff. You guys need to go. Whoever made that decision needs to go. That was single-handedly one of the most sad, sorry, pathetic excuses for a motherfucking AEW Dynamite I've ever seen. And AEW Dynamite this past week would have got a 7 out of 10 out of me if I would have saw MJF. But just the fact MJF, I didn't see him once. He wasn't referenced more than one time on the show. Just knocked off like 3 points. I'm giving AEW Dynamite like a 4 or a 5 out of 10. Just because MJF wasn't booked. Like, I've been talking about this for the past 10 minutes, and I just can't wrap it around my head. I don't, I'm just baffled. You have one of the best pay-per-views, not just of your company's history, but in just about any pay-per-view history, and you don't even book your top heel afterwards. I don't get it. MJF's character, MJF's fucking just the whole nine could have been used so much. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. The opportunity that they just squandered away by not waddling MJF out to their ring the Dynamite after Revolution. You just lost that golden ticket you had. I don't think it's going to affect the push exactly. But I think it's going to affect views. It's going to affect ratings. It's going to, it's just going to fuck with us. Because that's some next level WWE bullshit. That's some WWE bullshit not to book their top heel. That's some bullshit right there. MJF is probably the only reason why I watch Dynamite. And they know it. Oh, they know it. AEW knows it. They know a good fucking wide variety of their fan base is only watching their show for MJF. And they know it. Trust me, they know it. They get the demos every week. They know what people like. They hear the tweets. They hear the videos. They hear fucking everything. They know how much we like MJF. And I think they're punishing us. I think AEW and Cody are punishing us. You want to know why they're punishing us? Because we talked too much shit on Cody Rhodes' new neck tattoo that he was like, you want to know what? These fuckers want to make fun of my tattoo? Well, guess what? You get no MJF this Dynamite. Fuck you all. You get me instead. That's what Cody Rhodes probably thought to himself. These stupid fucking marks want to make fun of my neck tattoo that looks like a fucking Elmo drew it? Fuck these motherfuckers. MJF, go sit down. You're not booked. These guys made fun of my tattoo too many times. That's what Cody Rhodes said, probably. I'm betting. I'm willing to bet. Other than MJF, one guy that I'm really enjoying on AEW television, Hangman Page. I really wasn't sure about this alcohol part. I was saying, like, what? Is he just a longer-haired Steve Austin? What, is it Steve Austin 2.0? But, I saw a video of some random person's YouTube video, and you're going to an AEW signing, and Hangman Page had his own table set up, signing other people's autograph, and he was selling T-shirts on the table, and the guy was filming on a GoPro or something, getting his autograph, and on the table, sitting beside all these 4x10 pictures of Hangman Page that he was signing, was a half-drinking Jack Daniels bottle. So I'm glad to see kayfabe's alive, and speaking of kayfabe, MJF's the best at it. Sorry he wasn't booked, but, worst booking decision ever, not book MJF, but Still, just the kayfabe that these guys are pulling off is great. I really love kayfabe, and if they keep doing it, they're gonna get 2 thumbs up from me eventually. But I really wasn't sure. I was skeptical about this Hangman Page, alcoholic Adam Page kind of thing going on. But I gotta tell you, after MJF was flicking off the Young Bucks, I gotta say, I fucking love it. Because no other men on the roster deserve to get flicked off other than them stupid fucking smarks, the Young Bucks. Holy fucking shit. I loved it. I popped. When I saw MJF, when I saw fucking Hangman Page with fucking Jack Daniels in his hand and he was sipping it, and as he's sipping it, he looks down and he makes eye contact with fucking, Matt Jackson from the Young Bucks, and he just gives him the finger as he's drinking Jack Daniels. I popped. I gotta admit, I popped. I loved it. When he was like fucking scarfing down to Jack Daniels, and he just looks down and gets fucking mad at the fig. Oh man, I loved it. I popped for that one. So, right now, I've been really hypercritical of AEW the past few weeks. But after Revolution, and some of the bits, I'm in the middle road. I'm really happy with what they're doing with Hangman Page and MJF and Jake the Snake, but everything else needs to be completely rewritten. There's too many factions. There's too many boring storylines. There's too many, there's just too much shit going around that's just bad decisions that it makes all the good decisions look like the minority, and that's the problem. You need more great shit to put on Dynamite, and then after you book great shit on every Dynamite, it's just gonna come naturally. To me, I guess. Honestly, I'm gonna give AEW a few more weeks, and then I'm gonna make another AEW video to see how I feel then. Maybe I'll be a complete AEW fanboy in a few weeks, or maybe I'll just convert to being back to a hater. But right now, despite what my title is, despite what the screen says right now, I think AEW is on a good fucking tear. I think AEW is on the right track. I think AEW is doing more correctly than they're doing incorrectly at the moment. I do not agree with them not booking MJF this past Dynamite. I think that was one of the worst decisions they've made since they've been on TV. But I'm willing to put that past me, just considering how great of a show Revolution was and how great their storytelling is, and just the kayfabe alone is just enough for me to look past this MJF not being booked apart. But seriously, if they ever not book MJF again, I will make sure that I will fucking make your ears bleed, because I will be fucking letting loose on your ass. Seriously, I don't get it. I want an explanation why MJF wasn't booked. If he was injured and he can't fucking talk from Revolution, then I'd understand. But from what I know, MJF is completely fine, and he should have been booked on Dynamite. I'm just saying that right now. Thank you guys for watching. You guys can subscribe on your own means. Make sure you sub to 4th X Prodigy. Me and him have been, bouncing ideas off each other for a little bit now. Our thoughts about AEW are probably the same, and I'm guessing if 4th were to watch Revolution or just the MJF and Cody match, or just Jake the Snakes, he would tell you the same thing. That AEW is on the right track. See, the one thing about me that a lot of people who watched my AEW rants, they think I'm just gonna automatically hate AEW. They think I'm just gonna hate AEW just for the sake of hating AEW. I hate some of the decisions AEW makes. That's it. I hate the decisions the company makes. I don't hate the company as a whole. I don't hate their athletes. I just hate the business decisions they make. I hate that they promote AEW as an alternative to WWE when it's not an easy alternative at sometimes. I hate that part. But I'm telling you right now, if AEW keeps on the track they put themselves in after Revolution, I will be a fanboy in no time. I was genuinely impressed by Revolution. I was genuinely impressed the past few weeks of Dynamite. But the MJF not being booked apart is just unacceptable and non-forgivable, quite frankly. So thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe.